Allah is a word. It is an Arabic word. It means the God. And the God is a word that represents in the mind of creation the gathering of all of the divine characteristics and attributes. So the aspect of mercy, or the characteristic of mercy, benevolence, generosity, all of these characteristics which we consider to be good and we attribute it to God, the gathering of all of those characteristics collectively, that is what we refer to as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now these characteristics of Allah, they exist in creation. We find mercy in creation. We find benevolence in creation. We find courage in creation. We find generosity in creation. We find all of these good things in creation amongst the human beings, and we also find it amongst the animals, right?
Yes.
And even amongst the plants. But God Himself is even above and beyond these things. So God manifests Himself as these characteristics, these traits, in order that creation, in this world of creation, may come to know Him. And so we have here in Islam, Huwa being the equivalent of the Brahman in Hinduism, and you have Allah being the equivalent of the super soul, or of Krishna in Hinduism, or of Jesus in Christianity, or of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Islam, or Imam Ali alayhi salam, or the Imams from the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam. And that's why they call the perfect caliph of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Allah in creation. And that was one of the mystery teachings and the secret teachings of the Imams to their disciples and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, when he is speaking about Allah, the Allah in the Quran that is mentioned as coming and going and sitting, and that has a leg and that has a face and has an arm. This Allah, the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam said, we are the face of God, we are the hands of God, we're the tongue of God, because they are God Himself in creation. They are Allah. They are the manifestation of these divine attributes. But they're not the ultimate God up above. They're still creatures that were created, but they were created and reached such a high level of perfection that they allowed through them that the ultimate God be known to a certain degree amongst creation.